Constellations have fascinated humanity for thousands of years. These patterns of stars in the night sky have inspired myths, guided travelers, and helped people navigate the mysteries of the universe. In this video, we'll embark on a journey to explore what constellations are, their significance across cultures, their role in navigation, and some of the most famous constellations visible from Earth. When we talk about constellations, we're referring to groups of stars that form recognizable patterns in the sky. Ancient people connected these stars, much like a dot-to-dot puzzle, to create shapes that represented animals, objects, and mythological figures. While the stars in a constellation may seem close together from our perspective, they are often light years apart and can belong to vastly different regions of the galaxy. The human mind's tendency to find patterns in randomness is what led to the creation of these star pictures. The history of constellations is rich and diverse. Many of the constellations we know today have their roots in ancient civilizations. The Sumerians, one of the earliest known civilizations, were among the first to document constellations over 4,000 years ago. They identified star patterns and used them to track the movements of the planets and the changing seasons. Similarly, the Egyptians, Greeks, and Chinese developed their own systems of constellations, each reflecting their unique cultural and religious beliefs. The Greeks in particular played a significant role in shaping the constellations recognized in Western astronomy today. They borrowed many of their constellations from earlier cultures but added their own myths and legends to them. The Greek astronomer Ptolemy in the 2nd century AD compiled a list of 48 constellations in his work Almagest, many of which are still recognized today. In modern astronomy, there are 88 officially recognized constellations. These constellations cover the entire sky as seen from Earth, divided into the northern and southern celestial hemispheres. Some constellations are visible all year round, while others appear only during certain seasons. The modern constellations were standardized by the International Astronomical Union, IAU, in 1922 to create a uniform system for astronomers around the world. Among the most famous constellations are those of the zodiac. The zodiac is a band of 12 constellations that the sun, moon, and planets appear to move through as seen from Earth. These constellations, Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces, have been associated with astrology for centuries. Each zodiac sign is linked to specific personality traits and times of the year, making them an integral part of astrological beliefs. One of the most recognizable constellations in the night sky is Orion, the hunter. Orion is visible in both the northern and southern hemispheres and is best seen during the winter months. The constellation is named after a giant hunter from Greek mythology. Orion is depicted holding a club and a shield with his loyal dogs, Canis Major and Canis Minor, by his side. Orion's most striking feature is his belt, made up of 3 bright stars in a straight line, Alnitak, Alnilam, and Mintaka. Below the belt, you can see Orion's sword, which contains the famous Orion Nebula, a region of active star formation. Orion's bright stars and distinct shape make it one of the easiest constellations to spot in the night sky. Ursa Major, or the Great Bear, is another well-known constellation, especially in the northern hemisphere. Within Ursa Major lies the Big Dipper, a group of 7 bright stars that form a distinct ladle or dipper shape. The Big Dipper is one of the most familiar star patterns and has been used for centuries as a celestial guide. The Big Dipper's handle points towards the North Star, also known as Polaris, which is part of the Little Dipper in the Ursa Minor constellation. Polaris is almost directly aligned with Earth's rotational axis, making it an excellent fixed point for navigation. For many, the Big Dipper is the first step in learning to recognize constellations. Cassiopeia is a constellation in the northern sky that is easily recognized by its distinctive W shape, formed by 5 bright stars. According to Greek mythology, Cassiopeia was a queen who was punished for her vanity. Cassiopeia is visible throughout the year in the northern hemisphere and is one of the most prominent circumpolar constellations, meaning it never fully sets below the horizon. This makes it an excellent constellation for stargazers to observe at any time of the year. Draco, the dragon, is a large constellation that winds around the Little Dipper in the northern sky. In Greek mythology, Draco represents Ladon, the dragon that guarded the golden apples of the Hesperides. The dragon was eventually slain by Hercules as one of his 12 labors. Draco's stars are relatively faint, but its long, winding shape is distinctive. The constellation's head is marked by 4 stars that form a trapezoid, while its tail extends towards the handle of the Big Dipper. Draco is circumpolar, meaning it is visible all year round in the northern hemisphere. For those in the southern hemisphere, the Southern Cross or Crux is one of the most famous constellations. It is a small but bright constellation that has been used for centuries for navigation, especially by sailors in the southern seas. The Southern Cross is depicted on the flags of several countries, including Australia and New Zealand, as a symbol of their geographical location. The Southern Cross consists of 4 bright stars that form a cross shape, with a 5th star located nearby. This constellation is often used to find the direction of the South Pole, making it the Southern Hemisphere's equivalent of the North Star. Before the advent of modern navigation tools, constellations played a crucial role in helping people find their way. Sailors, explorers and travelers used the stars to determine their location and direction. The North Star, or Polaris, was particularly important for navigation in the Northern Hemisphere. By locating the North Star, navigators could determine their latitude and find their way north or south. In the Southern Hemisphere, the Southern Cross served a similar purpose. By drawing an imaginary line through the long axis of the Southern Cross and extending it downward, sailors could find the general direction of the South Pole. These constellations were essential tools for exploration and played a key role in the history of seafaring. Constellations have different meanings and stories across cultures. In Chinese astronomy, the sky is divided into 28 mansions, each associated with a specific constellation. These mansions were used to track the moon's movement and were integral to the Chinese lunar calendar. In Native American cultures, constellations often represented animals and natural elements. For example, the Iroquois saw the Big Dipper as a bear being chased by 3 hunters. The ancient Egyptians also had their own constellations, many of which were tied to their gods and religious beliefs. The constellation Orion was associated with the god Osiris, and the rising of Sirius, the dog star, marked the beginning of the Nile's annual flooding, a crucial event for Egyptian agriculture. Although constellations appear to move across the sky each night, this movement is actually due to Earth's rotation. As Earth spins on its axis, the stars and constellations seem to rise in the east and set in the west, much like the sun. This apparent motion is known as the diurnal motion of the stars. In addition to the nightly movement, constellations also change position in the sky throughout the year due to Earth's orbit around the sun. Some constellations are visible only during certain seasons. For example, Orion is prominent in the winter sky, while Scorpius is best seen in the summer. Not all stars in a constellation are equally bright. Stars are ranked by their magnitude, a measure of their brightness as seen from Earth. The lower the magnitude number, the brighter the star. For example, a star with a magnitude of 1 is brighter than a star with a magnitude of 2. The brightest stars in the sky are ranked as first magnitude stars. Sirius, the brightest star in the night sky, is part of the Canis Major constellation and has a magnitude of -1.46, making it easily visible to the naked eye. The stars in Orion's belt, while not as bright as Sirius, are also prominent and easy to spot. The Milky Way, our galaxy, is home to billions of stars, many of which form the constellations we see in the night sky. On a clear night, far from city lights, you can see the band of the Milky Way stretching across the sky, filled with countless stars and celestial objects. Some constellations lie within the Milky Way, while others are located outside its plane. For example, the constellations Sagittarius and Scorpius are rich in deep sky objects like star clusters and nebulae because they are located in the direction of the Milky Way's center. Today, constellations are still used by astronomers to map the sky and locate celestial objects. Each constellation serves as a region of the sky, with specific boundaries defined by the International Astronomical Union. These boundaries help astronomers pinpoint the location of stars, planets, and other objects in space. Modern technology, such as telescopes and satellites, has expanded our understanding of the universe far beyond what ancient astronomers could have imagined. However, the constellations remain a valuable tool for both professional astronomers and amateur stargazers. Constellations are more than just patterns of stars. They are a bridge between science and mythology, connecting us to our ancestors who looked up at the same night sky. Whether you're navigating the seas, telling a story, or simply gazing up at the stars, constellations offer a glimpse into the wonders of the universe and the human imagination. The next time you find yourself under a starry sky, take a moment to seek out a constellation. Whether it's the mighty Orion, the guiding Big Dipper, or the mysterious Draco, each constellation has a story to tell and a place in the vast tapestry of the cosmos.